testing. That should work now. Brilliant, I hope. Testing. I don't know why Telegram is saying that it's not working, but perhaps you can let me know if Telegram is working. Good morning, America. I hope you're well. It's the day after FOMC Wednesday. We have a bit of a mixed bag. We have a strong FTSE and a not so strong DAX. I seem to have some issues with getting Telegram to work. Fuck off. Apologies for the colorful language. So, ladies and gentlemen, is Telegram coming through all right? Because I don't know if it is. No one is saying anything, so hopefully it is coming through. No, apparently some people are saying that Telegram is loud and clear while others are saying no. Strange. Okay, well, look, I think it just needs a restart, but I will do that. I'll do that later. Someone asked me what I was eating. I was eating some raw chocolate. I make my own chocolate. Very dark chocolate. Okay, let's see what we can make of today. Ej, for helvede. Sorry about that. I'm a bit annoyed. There's a cleaning lady that cleans our offices, and she moves. Or it could be a he, but he or she moves around the stuff, and then I don't know if she's or he has been sitting in my chair or something like that. But I shall stop complaining now. I'm not gonna let the grumpy old man in. I'm so sorry. I would like to. I'd like to show you something. one way that you can prepare for a trading day, rather than shouting at the people that are doing a good job cleaning yours and other people's offices, it's a bit uncalled for, would be I use a brokerage, a charting package called eSignal. Now I know that some of you are really up to speed with charting packages, and you will use, say, TradingView or Ninja, so forth. Maybe even your broker has a good history. What I subscribe to a database which is delayed and it's really quite efficient because it goes back quite a long way. Now, what I would love to show you is how I found a really decent trade in the DAX this morning. So if you'll just bear with me for a little bit. While we're waiting. So I went through the database of past FOMC events, and then I looked at, well, how is it trading the day after, and could we expect something like that today? And so in the DAX today, this morning, I had a really good trade when this bar here closed near the low of this bar here, and I shorted it here and added here. Was really lucky not to get stopped out here, really lucky. And I got out at 60, you see how the low is 61? Got out at 64, 68, and took half prod after one at 90, and then got stopped out break even on the last bit. So I felt that was a really good trade. But if we look at the Dow, so the last FOMC we had was the 18th of December 24. So if we just go back, if you're interested in this, if you're not, then you can go to some of these people who tells you that it's all preordained what's going to happen, and they'll tell you. So here's the 18th. By the way, as I showed yesterday, the rule of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 would have sold you short here. But let's have a look at the next day. So the next day was the 19th, and on the 19th you had a gap up, and it seems that the break of the first 10 minutes was a good proxy for how to trade it. This is in the Dow Jones Index. The next date was the 7th of November, so that's coming up here. So here's the 7th of November. It's hard to see how anything meaningful happened that day, but apparently there is an FOMC announcement somewhere hidden in there. I struggle to see it. And the following day, a break of the first 10 minutes would have worked really well. The previous day was September the 18th. So we can have a look at that. I really hope I'm not wasting your time. That is certainly not my intention. So here's the 18th. And then you have the Federal Reserve announcement. But then what's interesting for us is the following day. How could we have traded that? Well, we could have traded a breakout of the first 10 minutes. That seemed to have worked pretty well. and have a look at the previous one, which was on the 31st of July. Just going to check over on Telegram that anyone is. Are you high? No. What the hell? Are you high? No, I'm not high. I don't do drugs. Is it a joke? I don't know. Okay. So if we're looking at the 31st of July, which is here, how did the Dow trade the following day, which was the 1st of August? Well, a break of the 10-minute worked really well. So can you see here that there's a pattern that a break of the first 10-minute worked really well? We can do one more if you want. I certainly wouldn't mind. I've already done this. I just regret not taking a screenshot of it so I could show you. So we're looking at the 12th of June. So here's the 12th of June. Here's the 12th of June. A gap up. An inside bar, inside bar. Seems as if a break of the first 10 minutes is a good approach. I think I'm wrong here. This was the actual day, it's the following day, apologies. But still, it worked. A break of the first 10 minutes. We can do one more if you want. 1st of May. I think I checked the 1st of May this morning and it was a really odd one. Nope, seems okay. And there's the 2nd of May, the following day. A break of the first 10 minutes seems to work pretty well. Down to support. If you want, we can do one more. 20th of March. So there was nothing in April. 20th of March. Again. First. And it seems as if it's a positive bar and closes near the high, then it was a good idea to buy a retracement. Anyway, so now I've taken you through some of the historical database of the behavior past FOMC. So now let's see if we can put some reality into that. So then what we'll do is just for absolute, so we'll just trade it in a pounder point. I'm absolutely going to take this trade, and because it just nurtures the discipline of you keep taking the trades. I'm going to get rid of the FTSE and the DAX because it's not so relevant here. So this is the first 10 minutes. We can do the same in Nasdaq. Although what we could do, if you're interested, I keep talking to you as if you're my class of children, but I know you're adults. So here's the Nasdaq. So we could just have a quick look. I think it was the 18th of December, wasn't it? So here's the 18th of December. Did it work the following day? Well, slowly, but yeah, it seemed to. What was the next one? Was it 7th of November? Yeah, it was 7th of November. So we'll go to 7th of November. So here's 7th of November. Really difficult to actually figure out what to make of that, because you barely see any impact during the 7th of November. You actually think, did I get that date wrong? Before that, the 18th of September. So here's the 18th of September. Now, this is interesting because the Nasdaq is now displaying the first time in this research where being a buyer above did not work. Do you see that? It did not payoff. So it'd be interesting to take that and then having a flip the switch, even if you're just doing it in small trading size. If you feel that this has got momentum, you can always add to the trade. Let's do the 31st of July in the Nasdaq. So here's the 31st of July, and then the following day, 1st of August, Nasdaq works well on the upside, but also well on the downside. June 12th is the next. I have just been told that there's no sound on Telegram. I'm just going to see if I can, just going to change it to default. Hopefully that's better on Telegram. Don't know if it is. But so someone just said, "Are you high?" And I said, "No." And I said, "I'm so sorry, but it's so rare that you're in a good mood. I have to note this down in the calendar." Wow, that is not a good indictment of me, is it? Yeah, that's very funny. Sure you do. And back at you. I won't mention your name. I think I'm just missing my long position in the Nasdaq. Did you take it? So good for you if you did. I'm not. Let me show you. June 12th. So here's June 12th announcement. And here is what happened the following day. Really quite iffy. But eventually it does break lower. So anyway, we sort of get a somewhat of a game plan. Definitely should have been a buyer of the Nasdaq at 546. But maybe we will get an opportunity. And the Dow hasn't triggered that trade yet. Dow is struggling to break above the prior bar high. I think we should have been long the Nasdaq. Okay, filled in the Dow. Look, I can't really make any excuses about Nasdaq. Is just, yes, the research said you gotta be long above 546, and here we are, 80 points higher. Freighters, you saw me teach it, and well, that's it, isn't it? No excuses, just a little bit annoying. I haven't amended Telegram yet. 44803. So if I were to pick a stop loss, I'll go stop loss at 729. There we go. That's what it looks like. I don't think it will be very long until I have to start amending the trading size. I thought that this was a useful exercise in how one could approach a more mechanical approach to entries in trading. I'm a fan of it. And I get every bit as frustrated as you do. It's only human. We are thinking, why did I not buy it right there? I could have been done by now, out surfing the waves. You know, in Copenhagen Harbor. Actually, do you know what we do here in Denmark? In Denmark, God bless us, we like to go to special places where there's a sauna right next to the sea. And then we go in the sea, which at this time of the year is about 5 degrees. We're talking about silly cold. Then we go into the sea, muck about a bit in there for 20, 30 seconds, or depending on how long you can stand the cold. And then you get out and you sit in the sauna. And then sometimes someone will put herbs on the sauna. You know, it could be eucalyptus, it could be sage, that kind of thing. It's a really, really lovely experience. He says, oh my God. And then you do that, you rotate that, you go into the sea, you get out again and you sit in the sauna. Sort of the whole thing could last an hour, but afterwards you have just super speeded up your circulation and you feel so good. Has anybody of you tried that? It's an amazing experience. I do this as often as I can. I absolutely love it. So you have someone who's called we call it Goose, and then you have someone who's called the Goose Master. I know it sounds really odd. Please stand by for a long position in the Nasdaq, buying a retracement. Buying that retracement here, it was about as close as I could get to the 46. I got in at 74. Not a great entry, but there you go. What was the low? It got to 62. 21,74. But here's the thing that I haven't told you. You have to do this naked. You can't be you can't wear trunks for things like this. I mean, we're talking about as God created you. No shiners around here. And if you're a man and you go into the sea naked, in 5 degrees, it doesn't exactly portray you from the most flattering side if you follow my drift. Things tend to shrink when you put it in ice. Just so there you go. Full disclosure. I'm sure there's a lot more information that you wanted to. Yeah, there's no hiding here in the Trader Tom YouTube channel. We lay it bare, calling it as it is. Cuckoo. I'm moving the stop loss to break even. So stop loss to break even in both positions. I'm so happy to be able to show you a strategy like this, because it's just based on past behavior. That's all I did, and I showed it to you here in real time. And yeah, well, we're really trading it live, and it's working beautifully. So I think I'll take profit in the Nasdaq. There you go. I've taken profit in the Nasdaq, and I'm going to close half my. Oh, it's like someone just heard me. I'm closing half my Dow, and yeah, just that was a really good trade. I can sort of keep this session quite short and brief. Did you see how quickly the Dow just reversed? I mean, it was like when I said it was literally, I felt like I'm in a matrix or something. But did you? I was just talking about, I'm just going to take profit, and the Dow was trading at around 875, and then it went, wow! But there's nothing up here. You know what it is? It's the algorithm. The algo is actually watching me. Is it a bird? No. Is it an airplane? No. Is it an algorithm? Da da da! It is. And the algorithm is watching a little lonely, pathetic trader. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Guys, that algo is out to get my money. Clear and simple. There can't be no explanation. My God, I am shit at keeping a straight face. Yes. It's that magic tea I sip every now and then, isn't it? I'm going to get stopped out now. Has any of you seen the latest Iman video? Do you know Iman? Iman? I don't actually know how to pronounce him. IMAN has posted a video. He does those videos so well. I hope he finds time to trade as well. That was a very efficient way of starting trading today. Anyway, back to Iman. It's I think there's many of us who are wondering, you know, his topic of conversation. I think many of us are wondering exactly what he's wondering. be interesting to look at Nasdaq. A few more dates in Nasdaq. I actually promised myself I would keep this session short and sweet because I have so much admin to do. Okay, so where did we get up to? We are in June, 1st of May. So here's the pattern on the 1st of May. And so obviously what we are interested in is the pattern on the 2nd of May, which is here. It seems as if this is just pure price action. Market goes down, takes out the lows and reverses back into the trading range. And does that really well. Okay, so the next one after that was the 20th of March. The 20th of March, I think it's more aligned with, so here's 20th of March, and so take a look at the 21st of March. That is perhaps more likely representative of what we are seeing today. Taking out the highs, yes, and we've done that. And looks like we are about to take out the lows as well. That should trigger a short. But then we're sort of just popping up and down in a range. Just so you can see what's going on in the Nasdaq. So, just for demonstration purposes, I will do a very small trade, just so it sort of gives you into that, okay, right, what's it like to execute a trade even if you don't feel like it, but you're forcing yourself to do it in a size that is perhaps rather inconsequential to you, that it doesn't cause you consternation. It's how you build trading size. If you ever feel like it, you should consider watching the video by the Chicago Board of Trade of the trader called Charlie D. I like the video. It's a really grainy quality, but there's something about the way that Charlie D, knowing what we know about him, how he talks, and what I love, one of the things he says during this, he says, the best way to learn to trade is to have trades on. And so even though we are sitting in a really small position here, it isn't so much the size of going, right, I'm actually emotionally invested in selling a breakout below the first 10-minute low because that's what my research has told me to do. And while this trade may end up not making anything, or who knows, well, you are engaged in the active practice of taking one trade after the other. And that's a valuable lesson to have. Okay, we can take a look at another one, 31st of January. As you can see, I quite like my research. Oops, gone a bit too far here. 31st of January, there it is. So here's the FOMC announcement here. And then here's the first 10 minutes. Market goes below very marginally and then goes above. Stays above for 40 minutes, then goes below. So the pattern in the Nasdaq doesn't seem to be as clean as in the Dow. We can do one more, which is going back about a year or so to the 13th of December. I know this is not terribly exciting, but I find it I find it nice to do this kind of work. So here's the Federal Reserve announcement. 1, 2, 3, 4, long above, but that's not what we're looking for. Oh, look at this. So this one here is much more aligned to what we seemingly are seeing today, huh? We have the first 10 minutes, we go above, and then the second one actually just goes above and reverses. Now take a look at how that corresponds with, if I take a screenshot of this pattern here, and I compare it with what we're seeing here. So you have first 10 minutes, break above, that's over here, break above. The second one and the third one just goes above the high of the second one and then reverses. That's exactly what it's doing here. And while, of course, no 2 days are ever exactly the same, so okay, well, how would we have traded this? Well, we would probably put our stop loss above this high here and saying if it comes all the way back up here, we probably don't want to be in this. Now, another thing that we could do is we can say, well, this is for the 14th of December 2023. How did the Dow Jones index trade on the 14th, 2023? Well, very quickly we can find out. YM pound F equal to, that means it's only the intraday session we get. And I will just very quickly go to the 14th. One sec, there we go. So what did I say? I said the 14th, didn't I? I think I did. So the 14th. So here's the 14th. Doesn't quite make sense. I thought there was this one here. It seems to be this one here, the 15th. Let me just double check. No, it is the 14th. So that's the Dow. The Dow seems to be holding up. So with the Nasdaq, maybe it's this pattern here. Just a grind lower, where it pays off to have a stop loss above prior bar high. So you just keep moving the stop loss down. Okay, well, that's what's going on. It was this approach that I used to develop the school run. Actually, the Nasdaq created a brilliant sell short in school run, didn't it? At 517. I was yapping away. I only put this trade on just for the illustration purposes of, okay, so this is what it's like. Okay, we have a trade. It's not a big trade. That doesn't mean that it doesn't need managing. Of course it does, and I'll let it run for a little while, and I'll probably put a stop loss here. But it was a pretty decent, relatively decent trade. Made about 1% on the account, 1% on the account. Not quite. So there you go. Okay, so I think that's my job done for this morning. If I see anything, I'll post it in the Telegram channel. But I hope that you like this display on how I prepare for a trading day. It's not the only thing I do, but it's one way of doing it. Yeah. So tomorrow is Friday. It'll be the last day of the month and the last day of the week. February, I'm taking some time off. Okay, I think that's it. That's me done. I know it's a short stream, but the objective was achieved. Made some money. That was good. I might just let this run a little bit, but I won't let it run out of control. Dow looks like it wants to go higher. Of course it does. It's a bull market, isn't it? So we made money on the long side, but not on the short side. It's a pleasure having you here. Look after yourself, stay strong, and I'll see you tomorrow. All the very best. Just give you a final update on what's going on. My position is 10 points offside. And it's break even. So maybe this is the pattern we're going to see in the Nasdaq. Thank you for being here. It means a lot to me to have some company while I'm trading. And I'm sorry if I'm in such a great mood today. I'm going to see if I can find the grumpy old man for tomorrow. All the very best. Bye-bye.